There are not five of us writing this story. There are 10 of us writing our story. Each one of us has a plus one, our Zettelkasten. So we were invited to invite our Zettelkastens to participate in the creation of our story. And not only will we present our story, but we will share how our Zettelkastens participated.
I have a few cards in my Zettelkasten that I made specifically for this story, but I thought it wouldn't be as interesting to work from those, although those were a backup plan if I didn't find anything else. I wanted to find something that was unrelated, but would still work. So I started looking through my index, and actually, very quickly, I discovered or was reminded of some cards that I had written when I was sort of noodling about good chaos and bad chaos, which I think came up a couple episodes ago. And as a part of that, I was sort of sketching out an alchemical process to designing an organizational system. And for anybody who's not familiar with alchemy, the alchemical process is three parts. The first part is solve, which involves um, dissolving everything down into its constituent parts. Um, and then after that, there's purification, where in some way all of those individual elements are refined. And then the final step of alchemy is coagula, where you put things back together, put your purified pieces back together in a new way and make a new substance. So my card on when I was thinking of organization, when I wrote this, it was about like organizing your space or, things like that. But okay, so solve, gather all the pieces into one location so you can understand the scope. And purification, reduce the scope by eliminating duplicates and or unnecessary elements. And then coagula, design a system that organizes what's left. And I started thinking about how this could fit with our story. And we know that, or we have established that the founders have created this game world, but they didn't finish it, apparently, at least as far as people can tell. It's just sort of people got there and then they disappeared. The founders disappeared and they're just left to their own devices. Well, that sounds to me like gathering all the pieces into one location. Everybody who wanted to play this game are now all on this world and left to their own devices to sort themselves out into the ones who actually really want to play it enough to figure it out and the ones who are just going along with their life. Um, so with that said, let's get to the story, which um, I was thinking about these concepts. They're not necessarily explicitly mentioned in the story, but that's what I was thinking about when I started writing it. And we're going with my character Javi again, um, who I've decided, or it would make sense for him to be one of the researchers working in the henge, because inside the henge, the link is not accessible, and because of his psychological and physical makeup, he really likes that. So he's one of the people working down in the basement, cataloging weird stuff. So here's the story. Javi hummed a wordless tune as he inched his way through the maze of dusty crates in the sub basement of the henge. Down here, away from the chatter of the link, he was alone with just his thoughts. Gradually, his shoulders relaxed and the calm of the storeroom soothed his overactive mind. The accession information, pulled off the link before he signed off, told him that the crates held the unexplainable artifacts from the estate of to be determined. I'll figure out the name later. Delivered to the henge for research and safekeeping, he quickly subtracted the date 57 years earlier. If any catalog had been made of the contents, he had been unable to find it in the link. Actually, it was sheer luck that Javi had stumbled upon the accession in the first place. Deep in the specialized file structure of the link that only the henge caretakers were allowed to access, There had been a strange empty space in the data structure. Links flowed around it, but there were no links to that storage node. This made it invisible to casual users, but it showed up as a memory discrepancy in the diagnostic logs. The other caretakers were uninterested in the anomaly, busy with their own pet projects, but Javi couldn't let it go. He ran test after test to narrow down the location of the unaccounted for memory usage. Finally, he found the unlinked node. All it contained were a name, date, and physical storage location. And now here he was, in a forgotten storeroom in the sub-sub basement, staring at a jumble of dusty crates. Javi pulled out a paper notepad and writing utensil, far from the eyes of his colleagues who didn't understand his fascination with defunct technologies. Even among the caretakers, Javi was considered a little strange. Now, he said out loud to the waiting crates, who wants to go first?
I love it.
Can
Javi
I
has
go
your
work with him?
Javi
I
has
could just
your
move into his story. I just want to go work with him.
your archaeology for all things valuable and old is showing up.
Yeah, love it.
Only old is heaven knows how far into the future. Oh, fantastic. Oh my gosh.